Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to a video here with the full Power Frieza S.H.Figuarts release. So this was out earlier this month in the USA, but for those of you in Japan or some other regions, yeah, finally coming out. And yeah, so this is probably the first release this year that has really surprised me, and I don't know what I was expecting. I know a lot of people were hyped for this release, but yeah, when I got it, I messaged 86 reviews straight away, and I was like, man, this does not feel like a Figuarts. And he said to me, is that, wait, good or bad? What way do you mean it in? I definitely meant it in a good way. I feel like, I've seen this in quite a few other reviews lately, or videos where I feel like Tamashii often kind of gets to the finish line, but they never quite, follow through. But I think this release is definitely gone from 0 all the way to 100% and fully delivered. So I'm excited to pop them open, show you what I mean with that, with the detailing and the accessories and details with this figure. So yeah, let's just jump straight in, pop him in a box and see what he comes with. So straight away we have full Power Frieza in the center, and he's looking so buff. Check out that top, his pecs and his arms is absolutely bulging. We also have a tail, which is a separate attachment on the side. We've got 3 additional heads, the kind of cocky smile, the screaming one, the frustrated and kind of an angry one, additional faceplate for Goku, and then what's that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of hands and the feet as well. But that's not all. Not only do we have all that, we also get his double pink disc attack, which is great. I think the only thing this character is missing is the gimmick for being cut in half. Though you can basically do that, you can easily pop the torso off anyway, if you do want to do some photos where he has been sliced in half from his own attack. But anyway, I think the point of this video that really shines is that finish. So let's check him up on the turntable so we can check it out in greater detail. Okay, check him swinging around here. All the detailing, the sculpting, got lines on his tail, scuff marks on his body, the definition of all the muscles on him, super bulgy muscles, arms, upper body, the pecs, the purple on the shoulder and the head really pops and shine. It is more of a gloss finish compared to that of third form Frieza. I'd say the purple matches up, I guess, closer to the ones on Mecha Frieza. It's kind of weird how just about every Frieza release has a slightly different shade of purple or finish to it. A bit of consistency would be nice, but I guess Tamashii isn't quite known for that throughout their lines, are they? But anyway, coming back to this figure, the point that stuck out to me as soon as I opened it that made me think this doesn't feel like a Figuarts, and that is weathering. It really reminds me of those earlier releases for 1.0 ones, like the original Frieza here with all the weathering in there, the lighter blues and all the colours to highlight the muscles. It's just absolutely beautiful and something that really is lacking in modern day releases. So I was really surprised and super thankful for it. But not only that, he has the articulation to also back up that awesome finish. So let's take him off the turntable so we can check him out in action with all those joints on this figure. Now, for a big bulky figure, I was not expecting much. I mean, Frieza normally he can sort of run easy due to a nice circle shape of it, but man, he can look all the way down. He can look all the way up. That part surprised me. Both the neck and on the head there we do get some motion, which is great, and everything feels really fluid. Then also for the shoulder here, despite being really big, we get some nice motion up on that actual shoulder joint, which feels nice. The swivel is great. But check this out, he can swivel his arms all the way around and essentially almost touch on his fist there, which is crazy considering the bulk on this figure. We have figures which are more slender than Frieza here that can't even reach this far around, so the fact that they've got that much articulation on them, I am actually pleasantly surprised and really thankful for it. The usual bicep swivel, elbow joint's nice, we get the wrist peg as well. Which way is it facing? There we go. A little bit of motion there, a bit more limited due to the design of Frieza, but does move around without any issues though. Now moving down to the torso area here, going forward we get a decent range of motion there, but then going back is really good, and it works on the diagonal as well. So we get a motion on the upper, I guess under the diaphragm there, which is good, and then a little bit in the hip area too. And we get some motion left and right, so decent range of motion there, which is great. We get the upper thigh swivel, the legs, let's get this out of the way a little bit. He can do the full-on splits, which is crazy cool. Going forward, once he gets up high, it does spread out a little bit, but not too much of an issue. Going back is good, knee joint is nice, and then again the ankle is actually pretty good, a little bit peg there, so we can switch these feet off without any issue as well. Now since his tail is chopped off, this is probably one of the cleanest looking tails. Always a disappointment, or a con for me are the tails with those ugly joints, but since it's chopped off we only have a 1 point of articulation where it attaches, so it looks pretty good overall actually, and yeah, it works nice, just the same as any other Frieza, just a peg that pops in with a joint there. So yeah, the faces on this figure are awesome, lovely detail. We get, the scuff marks on the faces, the veins popping, but most importantly, it's those expressions. I love that kind of shocked look with the eye, one eye bigger, one bit smaller, but then the other face with these kind of teeth gritting, this absolute, disgust, like how dare this lowly Saiyan, put me to, this much pressure, how can I lose to him, like the expression and just some emotion that's coming through on these faceplates is awesome. And then we also get the additional faceplate for Goku, which I think is one of the better battle damage ones they've done. It's subtle, one eye closed, a little bit of a shocked look, the mouth slightly skewed with some scuff marks. Absolutely loving that faceplate, and I want to see more like that. So yeah, so far fantastic. And weathering, finishing, articulation, expressions, bonus faceplate. This figure is definitely nailing it all. So let's just chuck him into a couple of poses, check out the effect he comes with as well, and then we can move over to a bit of a comparison and the pros and cons before wrapping up. Okay, so Frieza's here, juggling those discs like a pro. He's not going to slip up and cut himself in half now, is he? But anyway, the effect's super easy to use. They have a little wee peg that just pop into the hand, so nice and easy to attach. One thing actually point out there, okay, this is weird. So the peg goes in and attaches this, but it's popped out of the effect. I'm not sure if that is where it's meant to work, but hey, at least it's kind of easy to pop on and off. Might be a bit hard to get out of the hand though without some ply, so keep that in mind if you're changing. Let's have a look at this one actually. Yeah, okay, that one did the same, so I guess that's the way it's designed. At least it's easy to use, and yeah, I shouldn't have to worry about actually breaking the actual effect, which is nice. But yeah, he can hold them up pretty well without a stand, which is nice. Just a little bit of balancing and he's good to go. And yeah, the effects look really nice. Very similar to that of Krillin and what's her name? Kefla, right? How they had those effects they could attach. Okay, so I've got Frieza and Goku in a simple pose here, just showing off that bonus face for Goku, which is so cool, as well as the additional feet for Frieza. These can pop on and off without any real issues, so that is nice to see. One thing I do want to highlight, since I did mention popping on and off, when you change the head, the neck tends to come off with the head, which is a little bit annoying. They will detach easily. But it seems like the joint for the head and neck is very similar, and it's just easier to take the neck off than the head. Maybe it'll loosen up over time when you change the heads more, but it feels like the head to neck joint is a bit tighter than it is from the neck to body. So just keep that in mind. If you are changing the head, you may take the neck off instead. Okay. Okay, so let's jump into the pros and cons where we check out a few Frieza figures lined up. So second form, the original Frieza released full form, Mecha Frieza, and then obviously full power here. I did also have the third form one here, who I absolutely love, one of my favorites, mainly because I do love aliens, so this form always stuck out to me. But since he's very similar to the second form, I'll just leave him out of this lineup. So first off, one thing which is awesome about these recent releases, especially with Mecha Frieza and full power here, is that they do have that weathering, the extra colour on the body, which pairs beautifully with that original release. We're getting the additional effects with the full power. We get the double disc, which is iconic for this version of Frieza, kind of like how we rock in that one-eyed closed for the full form Frieza. And yeah, I mean, just having all these Frieza figures together, they look amazing all lined up. I think, yeah, Mecha Frieza, the articulation a lot more limited due to his design, but the second form Frieza was definitely a fan favorite and one of the top Frieza figures so far. But I actually feel like the full power one here has overtaken him to be the #1 Frieza release, and I'm surprised. I'm saying that I did not expect that to be the case. I'd love to know what everyone else thinks. Is this the best Frieza figure so far for you? If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below. But at least for me, the massive pro is the finish, then the articulation, the expressions, and then the effects. For me, the only con for this release is that we do not have the ability to have a chopped in half torso with that kind of blood look underneath. However, we can pop them off like this and then maybe get a stand. Okay, so there we go. I have them on the stand so you can pop off. I mean, it's not quite the same, not quite accurate, but you know what? It works pretty well as a alternative, and especially if you're doing figure photography, maybe do a bit more of a top down one, so you don't really see that most of the torso is missing. And even then you could probably pop off the lower part here as well. Does it pop off? Yeah, there we go. So you can pop that off, maybe have it there as well, and yeah, I'm sure someone will come up with a custom for this, which would be amazing, because I really want to see that full on so just getting distracted there by looking at the inner parts if you are keen to see what it looks like. But anyway, coming back to it, hopefully someone will make a some type of accessory there to fit on, so we can have a proper full on slice in half Frieza look, which I'm sure everyone wants. It is one of the iconic Frieza scenes and looks as well, so hopefully one day there'll be some way that we can achieve it a little bit better than what we can already, but just straight out of the box, not too shabby. But yeah, that is it for a review. I hope you liked. Definitely probably my top Dragon Ball figure for the year so far, so I'm looking forward to seeing what King Colders are like and the other releases for 2024. But yeah, if you did like, please do like, subscribe, and leave lots of comments. Always go checking that out. And anyway, that is it for the video. So again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers.